Today we will be discussing about soft assertions and hard assertions. In TestNG, when we do assertions, by default it will be hard assertions. That means when one assertion is failed, the test will be marked as failed. But the disadvantage is we don't know what will happen to the other assertions. So if we may find one error, but maybe we are missing the other error. So when we fix that one, then only the script will run and figure out the next error. So in that case, if you want to find all the issues in one page, one test case, and then we can fix it at one go, we need to verify all the assertions first and see what are the failing ones and what are the ones which passed. So for that we can use soft assertion. When we used a soft assertion, even though the assertion is failed, the test case will go to the next step, next assertion, and we can mark or we can verify all the assertions. But if we make one assertion passed, even though it is failing to the expected condition, then we are ending up with an issue how to find whether actually an assertion is failed. So for that we have to use soft assertion assertAll. After asserting all the assertions as soft assertions, at the end we have to do the soft assertAll to find out which assertions are failing. So if I explain this, for an example, now we are doing soft assertions. I have incorporated this into our framework under UI operations. We now have the soft assertions, like is element present, we know it's assert true and find whether the element is there. But in soft assertion we have to use the soft assert instance of the soft assert class and make the assertion with that soft assert instance. And similarly the validate text and soft validate text, the soft assert. So we can use the soft assert assertAll to verify if at least one of the assertions have been failed under soft assertion. But this should be happen under same soft assert instance. For example, we do the soft validate element text, whether the element text is expected and actual is same under soft assert instance, assert true, and similarly validate soft validate text. This is element text, this is text under same soft assert instance, and element present under same soft assert instance, and we do the assertAll under same soft assert instance. If at least one of these are failing, the test will be marked as failed and all the assertions results can be seen. So to do this, what we have done is we will under test execution main, we will create the soft assert instance under soft assert class, and when we are calling our operation, when we are creating the operation instance, we are now passing the WebDriver and soft assert both. This soft assert instance will be passed to the operation class, and under operation, when we are initializing the UI operation, we will make sure that the passing soft assert instance will be assigned as the soft assert instance in this class. So when we one by one, when we call this soft verify title, soft element present, soft validate text, soft validate element text, everything it will be called under same soft assert. So at the end, if we do soft assert assertAll in same soft assert element, even though at least one is failing, it will continue, and at the end with this assertAll it will mark as failed. So we have one new test class as execute soft and hard assertions. So here what we do is we will just go to the google.com and verify certain things. So for that we will do two test classes of assertionAll. Here we do only soft assertion. Here we do only soft assert. We are not performing any soft assertAll. And here soft assertionAll, we do same soft assertions, and at the end we do the soft assertionAll as well. So for these two, the soft assertionAll and soft assertion, we now have the Excel sheet for soft assertion and soft assertionAll. In the soft assertion, we are only performing the soft assertion only, not the soft assertionAll. We go to the Google website and see whether the title is wrong title. Actually it's not, it's Google, so this should be failed. And we see whether the password text box is there. It should not be there, so this should be failed. And we verify some text. This text is present in the page. Actually it should not be, so this also should be failed. and we see whether the button, the search text box, the search button is there, and it text is ABCD search. It's not actually, it's a search. So all these four should be failed. But when we execute it under only soft assertion, actually this will be passed. And in the soft assertion all, we will verify the title is Google. This should be passed, Google. This should be passed because actual title is Google, but these three should be failed, similar to the previous one. But here we do perform soft assert all action as well. So this will, even though this is failing, this will go through to this one and this one as well, because we are doing soft assertions, and at the end, under soft assertion all, this will marked as failed. So in the XML, I have now included only the soft assertion and soft assertion all methods. So let's see what will happen when we execute this. Now this is first test case under soft assertion only. So it will verify those things like title, text, and other things under soft assertion only. All things should be failed because our expected result column we have given certain things, invalid things. But let's see whether it's failed or it will mark as passed. So this will take some time because it's wait. When the verify is failing, the button is available or something, it will wait. So now it goes to the second one. So this here also, except for this Google thing, we have given the exact this Google as the expected title, so it should be passed. But other three cases should be failed, like button text. I have given ABCD search, but it is Google search. So button, there's no password text box, so something like that. So those three should be failed, but it will. Let's see whether, since it is soft assertion, whether it goes through all three, and at the end under soft assert all, it will it marked as failed. So here the two test cases. The first one is passed. I mean, one passed, one failed. If you go here, you can see like the first one, all soft assertions, all things have been verified. But this Google, we expected wrong title. It was Google there. This has marked passed. Nothing has happened. When you go to the results, the first one. Here's nothing, it's passed. So we don't know, but it's because soft assertion it verify everything, but here no failed has been detected because we haven't used soft assert all. But in the second one, you see that everything has been verified. The Google, the verify this is passed, but this one should be failed. But even though this one should be failed, because we have used the soft assertion, it has gone to the next one. This should be failed, but it has gone to the next one because we have used soft validate. Then it comes to here, and under soft assertion all, it has marked as failed. So we can see like soft assertion, error, assertion, the following asserts are failed. All things are there, like the element, contain element not found. So if you go here, this one, right, element, password element, that is not in the Google. So it has marked as failed. That element is not there. Page does not contain text QWERTUY. Okay. And ABCD search, that is expected, but it is not there. It was Google search. So all these three assertions have been done, and at the end the test case has been marked as failed because its soft assertion all is there. Like here we have used the soft assertion all, soft validate all, that is the soft assertion all. If you come to the UI operation, soft validate all is the soft assert all method. So with that, the test has been marked as failed. So this is important. If you just use the assertion, it's in this text without soft validate, this one soft is element present. Okay, soft is element is present. Instead of this one, if you use this one is element present, this will also mark the test case as failed. But what will happen is it will stop the execution at this level. So we will not identify these two errors. So when we use soft assertion, it will verify all assertions, and at the end with the soft assert all, it will mark the test case as failed. So the important thing is, if you want to use, when you want to use the soft assert assertAll, this should be done in the same instance as the other soft assertions you did. That's why we make the soft assert instance at this calling class. We call the UI operation class from the execute test main. So we create the soft assert instance in this class and pass it in the calling method, and in the initialization phase we make that soft assert to the instance from the calling instance. So this all these four, like this soft instance, soft verify title, soft is element present, soft validate text, soft validate element text, and soft validate all will be done using the same soft assert instance. Because of that, like these things are failing, but still it's continuing, and it will pick up, okay, at least one has failed and this case has been marked as failed, and all errors can be seen. So I think I will upload this into our Git repository, and you can try and see the advantage of soft assertion and how to use it in our framework. Thank you very much.